Hi guys, this is Antonia Florence again, and this is our second video on Educated Rebels. And I want to share a little bit with you about my journey in studying Mandarin. I started studying Mandarin, I would say, I think it was the fall of 2017. Okay, and now this is the summer of 2019. And coming up in the fall, I'll be going into my third year. So really what I want to do, my goal is to be fluent in Mandarin. And I'm looking in the fall to apply for the Boren Fellowship Award. I'm really working toward my master's degree. And my focus is Chinese culture and literature. And the reason why I chose that is because when you study the culture, the literature of a people, you really get the feel. And you study their religion and all these things, you get a feel for the people. And I think that's very important, you know. Mandarin is a very interesting language, and the Chinese culture, I would say, is very interesting, very exotic, and very different. I really do enjoy studying it a lot, okay? It's a challenge, and it's very different, I guess, from anything that I've actually studied, to be honest. The people are different, they eat different, they talk different. It's just a whole new experience. And with the Boren Fellowship Award, I really believe that I'm going to get it. It's given by the Department of National Security for students who are studying in critical languages. And Mandarin is one of those critical languages, and they feel that there's not enough U.S. citizens that are actually learning and speaking the language. So they consider that to be a national security risk to the U.S. So if I'm chosen to get that award, I will go to Taiwan for a year, and I will live with a host family, and I have to sign a contract, and I can't speak English, but I'm really looking forward to that, and I really feel in my heart that I'm going to receive that award. While I'm there, I also want to study the history of Taiwan. So what I do know, the difference, let's say, about the characters that the Taiwanese people write, they're more traditional. And in mainland China, their characters are really more simplified. They use simplified characters. Well, to be honest, they look more simplified. Traditional characters, it has a lot of strokes. It's pretty busy, and they have a lot going on. So for me, after been studying simplified characters and to go and study traditional characters, I know that's going to be a challenge. And also, some of the words that they use are not exactly the same. So there is some variation, a little difference. I've watched some videos on YouTube from other students who are studying in Taiwan and who have received the Boren Fellowship Award, and it really seems to be quite rewarding. So I'm really looking forward to that. This will be my first time as far as going abroad as a foreign exchange student, and I think a lot of more Americans should definitely do that. You know, I see a lot of Asian students that come to the U.S., but it's not as many U.S. students that go to Asia as I would like to see, to be truthful with you. So I think it's going to be a challenge, very exciting and rewarding, and I'm really looking forward to that. Then I would come back to the U.S., and then I would go ahead and work on my master's. And I also would have to continue to keep up my speaking skills. So I would say about the time that I go to Taiwan and stay there for a year and study that language, it's an intensive study. So from what I've seen other students talk about, they study for like 4 hours a day. One thing I can tell you, in Asian countries, they study a lot, and they study much longer than we do in the U.S. In the U.S., we tend to be more um, relaxed and laid back. In Asian countries, even when they go to school and they get out, they continue to study, whatever that subject may be. It's not that they're smarter than us, because our Creator gave all of us the same abilities in the brain. To be truthful with you, but it's that they practice more and they put more effort. So when you practice and give yourself to something more, you're just going to be better at it. That's all. So it's not a secret about that. So I've been studying Mandarin, and I put a lot of effort in it. I have to study the characters, how to write the characters. I listen to a lot of audio now, because it's one thing to memorize a script or a dialogue, but when a native speaker speaks to you and you can't understand them, it's quite frustrating, okay? So my focus is to listen more and to read. It's very important to be literate in the language. So you don't want to just memorize a dialogue or memorize certain things on how to say things, where's this, or I want this or that. So if you study everything equally, it's going to benefit you in the long haul. It's really what I'm trying to say in a nutshell. So if you just start with the basics and you do that, I can really see anyone progressing. So my goal is to be fluent in the language. My goal is to be an entrepreneur and to have my own business and to do a lot of work in Asia. In China alone, there's like 1.4 billion people. And Mandarin is really, there's more people that speak Mandarin than any other language in the world. And it's not just in China. You have a lot of Asian countries that use Mandarin. As far as, Taiwan, you have Singapore, Malaysia, you have a lot of different Asian countries where they speak Mandarin. And to study the culture and the people and their language and know their history, you're going to establish what the Chinese people call guangxi. You'll be able to make that connection. And it's very important in business, because you want people to be able to trust you when they know that you're interested in their language and their culture and their people. They're really taken aback by that. So I just want to share with you my passion for learning this language. And you may say, well, why are you interested in studying this language? Well, to make a long story short, I think one of the greatest forces in the world is love. And so, when you are in a relationship with someone, that's a good motivating factor, right? So that was my first experience, and the reason why I really gravitated toward studying Mandarin. And I can really tell you that it's such a good feeling when you're able to express yourself and to talk to a person in language is not a barrier, okay? So I would like to take you guys on this journey, and as I learn the language, and help you so that you are also able to learn the language. And by me studying the language and sharing my experience, you'll see that it's not hard. Mandarin is considered a difficult language to learn, but I don't like using the word hard, because words have meanings and connotations, and I just say that it's challenging, okay? Like anything, when we don't know something, it tends to be a little bit more difficult. But when you take your time and you break things down, it's not really hard at all. It's challenging, and it takes some effort. So don't get discouraged. No matter really what you're trying to do in life, you're going to have to put forth that effort. And in this channel, I want to take you guys on my journey, and I want you to come along with me, and then we'll be able to study this language together. So it's very important that we take our time, that we're consistent, and that we stay motivated. my own reasons. Like I said, I want to do business. So I'm very motivated, and I've always wanted to be bilingual, right? I mean, a lot of people learn English and they come to this country and they do well. Even if they're not fluent and it's a little choppy, if they're able to communicate effectively, that's very important. But how many of us can go to another country and speak their language as an American? Okay, there are some, but I mean, it's not like a whole lot of people. So I want to show you guys that if I can do it, you can do it. And it doesn't make a difference how old you are. I mean, it really has nothing to do with it. It has everything to do with your passion, your consistency, your strong enough why, and just that determination to get it done. So with that being said, we're going to start this journey, and I just want to share with you guys, and I want you to come along with me because I really